Representatives of the Arab League are in Moscow to meet with Russian authorities. The talks are meant to continue dialogue between Russia and Arab states, according to the Russian Foreign Ministry. The Russian Arab Forum is held every 2 years. This year's meeting will likely be especially significant with the ongoing crisis in Syria and ISIL's activities throughout the Middle East and North Africa. The meeting comes ahead of a ceasefire that's meant to come into effect in Syria on Saturday. So some key decisions likely then at these talks. Let's get you more on that now. I'm joined live from Moscow by CCTV's Jack Parrock. Jack, what's the latest coming out of Moscow on these talks?
Well, we haven't actually heard anything from any of the representatives or the foreign ministers as they entered this meeting. We're currently waiting on their press conference, which was set to start around 15 minutes or so ago by the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, the Arab League Secretary General Nabil al-Arabi, and the Foreign Minister of the UAE, Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. We're waiting to hear from them about their position. We're expecting them to be relatively positive. It's a big thing that they've come here to Russia. Shows that the Arab League is looking potentially to work more with Russia to solve some of the issues in the Middle East and North Africa.
Well, ISIL is a growing concern for North African states. What's the Arab League's position on Russian assistance in the region?
It's a very, very complex set of political negotiations and issues. So essentially, Egypt has suggested that they would like Russian involvement to help the fight against ISIL in North Africa. They even submitted a letter to the Arab League to that effect. Saudi Arabia, however, is not so keen. Saudi Arabia's accused Russian actions of destabilizing countries like Yemen and Syria. Obviously, the Arab League does not support the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. In fact, a member of the Arab League is the Syrian opposition rather than the Assad government. And obviously Russia supports the legitimacy of Bashar al-Assad in Syria, so that's complex. And also, Russia and Iran have relatively positive relations, and the Arab League is very much against Iran as a state. So it's a complex set of issues that could prevent the Arab League wanting Russia to be involved in the fight against ISIL in North Africa. Having said that, the fact that the Arab League has come here throughout all this complicated quagmire shows that potentially they are becoming less happy with the American position on all this, and that they might potentially start looking towards Russia for their help in that fight.
Well, and Jack, the war in Syria is another key concern that affects not only the Middle East, but Africa and Europe as well. What's the Arab League's position during these talks ahead of Saturday's ceasefire?
So at the moment there isn't a combined Arab League position. We don't know about that, but we do know that Russian President Vladimir Putin had a phone call with King Salman of Saudi Arabia to push for this ceasefire to be adhered to and pressured by all those other sides. And we're expecting really that generally the Arab League countries are pro this ceasefire. We'll have to wait and see. It's only a couple of hours now until we see whether both sides of the Syrian conflict sign up to this ceasefire, and then it will be midnight GMT when this ceasefire is set to take hold through Saturday, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But generally the Arab League is considered to be pretty pro having a ceasefire in Syria now, clearly a country that's been ravaged by 5 years of war.
And we'll keep a keen eye on those developments. Jack Parrock in Moscow, thank you.